Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Samantha Uncut, where I discuss celebrity news, hot topics, reality TV, and so much more. All commentary is alleged and in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Hey, everyone. I hope you all are having an amazing morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. I'm back with my Real Housewives of Atlanta review for episodes 9 and 10. I know. I am super late. Before we get into that, y'all know what to do. Make sure that you like, comment, and share this video. And also, don't forget to follow me on my social media platform at Samantha Uncut on Instagram and Samantha.uncut on TikTok. So we're just going to start off with episode 9. We're going to jump right into where I left off, where from my last recap, where Cynthia met up with the girls on one-on-one to recap what happened at the pool when she went to bed because of Portia saying that she wanted to sleep with Charles and all of that. So Cynthia had gone to bed when that happened. So she's just now meeting up with the girls one-on-one to get a recap of what actually happened, what was said. And the girls are just giving her the rundown of what was going on. And she's in disbelief that Portia would say that I don't know why, because Cynthia has been around Portia for all this time. So Cynthia is very much aware of Portia's character and what she will and will not do. So in her one-on-one with Portia is going to say that she doesn't remember saying that she would sleep with Charles and that she would never sleep with anyone's husband. Like, girl, you are married to someone else's husband. How are you going to say you would never sleep with someone else's husband? Like, Portia is very much laughable at this point for me. And I just can't with her and her lies. Like, she likes to talk about Drew being a liar, but she's just neck and neck with Drew at this point when it comes to the lying Olympics, because this girl lies and she takes no accountability for the things that she has done. I do not blame Angela for being mad at them, especially being mad at Shamia, because she's also married and she's not checking the whole just the whole shit that Portia does and is doing in front of her. It's like, girl, I know she's your friend and you're trying to be in her good graces, but hold her accountable for stuff that she's doing. And you know that it's not appropriate. And you know, if somebody was supposed to say that about Gerald, you wouldn't be okay with that. I'm just so disappointed in Shamia when that whole thing happened at the pool and that she didn't really check Portia about it, and then later on to say that it's not her fight. It's just crazy to me that somebody would say that, especially someone who's married, who know their friends like character. It's just too much. It's too much. But anyways, Cynthia said that she's going to have her annual Bailey Q barbecue on Juneteenth, and everyone is invited. So she's going to have this prophet there. Child, this group is gonna need more than a prophet for all the mess and foolishness that is going on this show this season. And my thing is, the mess and foolishness that is going on, it's not like the usual entertaining mess and foolishness. It's just dumb stuff. And it's like, I don't know, there's something off about the season, and I'm just still trying to figure out like what is missing. And I don't know if it's the original cast that is missing, if it's the quick shade, because I'm loving how Angela is showing up, and that for me is the entertainment. But when it comes to the rest of the girls, I'm finding there's something lacking that I'm missing, and I don't know really what I don't know what to say or how to describe it, but there's something missing from the show, and I feel like that factors into how the views, the ratings are going, because the ratings are going down, and I just feel like there is something missing from this season. But we're gonna just roll with it, and hopefully the second half of the season is better with Phaedra coming in. We'll see what she's gonna bring, but I don't know, there's something missing. But In this episode 9, Kelly, she hosted a party for her dog, Shasha. And let me tell you, Kelly is doing her thing. Like, I don't really have anything bad to say about Kelly because she is really doing her thing. This is like her 3rd or 4th event since the season started. And she's giving us event. Like, she's giving us luxury, glam. She's giving us all of that. So I don't have anything bad to say about the way that Kelly is showing up because she's quirky. She's funny. She's doing her thing. So I love that about Kelly. So she invited Britt to this event and she's talking with Britt about her mother. Britt is telling her that her mother is ready to move in with her and her husband, and how her and her sister share. They're going to help her move. Let me tell you, I really could. I don't care too much about Brit. Y'all know from my reviews, I don't care for Brit. I'm not here for her. I ain't got nothing to say about her too much. I don't care for her because she gives me nothing. Like, she gives nothing when she shows up on screen for me. As much as she tries to give something, she gives nothing. Absolutely nothing for me. So I really don't care about her storyline because her storyline does not make sense. Because when she also went to her mother's house to talk with her mom and her sister and her grandma, and I guess they were trying to like help her to move, and the whole scene was so all over the place. I was like, WTF, what was that? I was so confused because at one moment they're talking normal, everybody's calm, and then 2 seconds later everybody's on 100 yelling and screaming, and I'm like, where is that coming from? I don't know if it's the edit, but the way she is showing up or her family showing up, it's not connecting. Like, there is something that is not connecting. There's a disconnect, and moving on. We also had Portia, who met up with her mom and her sister. She's giving them the rundown of what happened at her birthday. And of course, Portia is lying to her mom and her sister about what happened in Nashville. And of course, they are upholding her BS because that's what they do. They don't hold Portia accountable for nothing, especially her mom, Diane. She doesn't hold her accountable, and I'm just very much over them at this point because Portia is also getting a nanny. She wanted Dennis to meet her, so the nanny came over. So it's an international nanny. I think she said the nanny is coming from like South Africa or something like that. So Dennis came over, and Dennis is filming green screen with Portia. And this is where I have an issue with Portia again, because instead of Portia saying that she wanted Dennis to film with her, or she had an issue with the fact that, you know, her storyline with Simon like blew up in her face, and now she wanted to use Dennis as a backup, and Dennis is filming or working with Drew. She wants to make this problem with Drew about, oh, Dennis working with her, or Dennis allegedly sleeping with her, when she literally could have just said, I don't want you working with Drew or filming with Drew because I want to be able to film with you. I want you as my backup because my plan number 1 failed. Simple as that. Just tell the truth, because obviously she wanted to film with her baby daddy and make it seem like it's not a bother that Simon, the whole storyline with Simon blew up in her face. So her and Dennis now, they have a conversation about him filming with Drew, and she is going to bring up, like, Portia is such a liar. I just cannot. Like, she is going to say that Dennis told her that Drew tried to sleep with him. And you can see the look on Dennis's face, like his reaction tell us, the audience, that Portia is lying, and that's not what he said. He even said it in the scene that, nah, I never said that. That's not what I said. And she know that man never said that to her, but she wants to put out that narrative that Drew was trying to sleep with Dennis. Like, that is so low down and trifling. I oh, I can't with her. But moving on from Portia and her shenanigans, we go over now to Charles and Angela, and they talk about what happened in Nashville. And Angela, I'll say this, like, while I love how Angela is showing up, Charles, on the other hand, I don't know. Like, I think maybe I have to get used to his personality and get used to him. But I do not like how he is showing up in scenes with Angela so far. I don't know, like, he just seems like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to do the show. Like, he can't be bothered. He's not interested. Like, I don't know. I don't like the way that he's showing up, but I did like the fact that he did tell Angela that he wanted to be front row and center to see how Angela is going to show her Chicago side among the ladies, because Portia was out of line with her comments about wanting to sleep with him. So I like, in certain scenes, like, you get a glimpse of their little banter together as husband and wife, but then on the overall aspect of the scenes that they're in, it just seems like he's not interested. And I don't like that, because Angela is putting forth so much for us to see, like entertainment and all of that, and she's being very transparent, but I feel like she needs her partner to assist her in just providing us with the full dunk of everything, like, and he's not doing that. So now we are going to talk about the best part of the entire episode 9, which was Cynthia's barbecue, or Barbecue, I should say. So everyone arrived at Cynthia's house wearing their Juneteenth colors. Everyone looks beautiful. Cynthia introduced the ladies to the prophet, and the prophet is providing like insights into the lives of each person. And in my opinion, this lady is someone who is familiar with the ladies of the group, and nothing that she's saying to them isn't something that we didn't know before as viewers, or something that she wouldn't have known from like a friend who is in the inner circle. So I found her to be dry and not very insightful. For me personally, that's just my opinion. I don't know if the ladies in the scene at that time had something impactful from her, but I didn't really get anything impactful from her. I don't know what kind of prophet she is. God bless her. Moving on. I mean, like, she wasn't saying anything that we didn't know. Everything she was talking about, Portia getting a divorce. We know Portia is gonna get a divorce. Like, come on now. It would have been more interesting if she was someone like the guy when Candy and Candy Nene, the originals, they went to Africa, and the guy was reading the bones, and he said to Candy, like, her husband is with her. And at the time, Todd was a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and he was traveling with them. So the prophet was telling her that she's gonna get married and her husband is already with her. So I mean, like, something like that would have been so impactful and so insightful, but the lady wasn't giving that. Like, she was just giving what we already know. So anyways, she left, and then Angela and Britt, they got into it, because Britt once again is hyping up, talking about, Angela, like, she's basically talking to Angela like she thinks she's Angela's boss, and Angela is beneath her. So, like, Angela's like, do you have something that you want to say to me? Because where is this problem that you keep having with me? Where is this coming from? And this energy that you keep giving me is really weird. So Britt is going to say that she needs to read the words that are coming out of her mouth. And Angela said, that big mouth that you have, I should be able to read and understand what you're saying, but I don't. And Britt said, it sounds like you need to use your mouth more often. And baby, when I tell you that Angela hit her and whacked her, when Angela came back and said, I do use my mouth, but not as much as you do, with those stretch marks around it. It was a nasty nasty, nasty read. And Brit is so slow that she's gonna jump up and try to say like, show me, show me. Then you have like Cynthia trying to hold her back. Like, let her go so Angela could knock her down. Like, what do you think you're gonna jump up and do? You always trying to fight somebody. This is not the Zeus network. This is Bravo. But you're trying to jump up to try to fight somebody. Like, this girl is so aggressive and she is a danger to the cast. I don't know why she's still there. So Angela had to shut her down again. Angela came back with, you got miles on your mouth. Like, when I tell you that Angela is owning these girls, this is what I'm talking about. And whenever I see Angela and the way that she's able to read the girls, I think this is what I am missing. I am missing the quick clapbacks and the quick reads, and it's just fun and entertaining because Angela is the only one who is clocking in like this, and I am truly enjoying the way that she is clocking in. And Brit in this moment again is so slow that she couldn't even come back with anything back at Angela after Angela read her for filth. Like, she was looking, it's like she looked to the camera or she was looking to a producer for approval of like what to say and like, oh, did I do good? Like, girl, you're whack. You are whack. We don't need to see this kind of energy. You're just not up for it when it comes to these girls. Like, you're not even up for it when it comes to Kelly. Like, I mean, come on now. And just when I thought that Angela was finished with her reads, she goes in for the KILL. She said to Brit, she's like, girl, you are a horror. Like, when I tell you that you cannot tell me that Kenya did not sprinkle a little bit of twirl dust on Angela before she left, because this scene was owned and produced by Angela MF Oakley. Like, she produced the heck out of that scene and she carried it all the way. Like, flawless, effortlessly. And she did it without breaking a sweat, without getting up out of her seat, without moving. Like, she literally gave us entertainment, performance. She gave us Housewives. Cynthia was like shocked. She couldn't bear it anymore. She's like, no, guys, like, let's separate, like, let's go over here. So she took Angela because she wanted everyone to start, like, she wanted everyone to like eat, and then she took Angela over because she wanted everyone to kind of like have a one-on-one with Angela, because Angela was upset about the whole Nashville situation and she wanted everybody to be able to talk it out so that they can all move forward. So the first up was Portia. So Angela asked Portia like, why did she make the comment about Portia wanting to sleep with Charles? But of course, Portia takes no accountability for anything, right? Portia basically gave a half-ass apology because she apologized to Angela in the scene, but then in her confessional, she took it back. In her confessionals, she didn't really take any accountability either. She basically blamed it on the alcohol or on the Henny, and then to say she didn't do anything wrong. And Angela should have been in her bed sleeping. Like, why was she listening to them? It's like, girl, you did something wrong and you need to take accountability for what you did and what you said. But no, Portia doesn't do that at all. Angela also had a conversation with Shamia about why she never checked Portia at the poolside, and Angela is also explaining to Shamia why it kind of bothered her or it hurt her that Shamia didn't say anything. And basically Shamia is saying that it's not her responsibility. And I'm very confused by Shamia because she's always going up for Portia, but in this moment she's being mute on what Portia has said. And I'm just over it. I'm really, really over it because everyone is trying to play in Angela's face like what Portia did and said wasn't a big deal. But if the shoes was on the other foot, they wouldn't like anyone saying that about their husband or making any kind of gesture towards their husband. It's ridiculous to me. So now we're going to go on to episode 10, where the episode opened with Kelly and her kids. They have like a cute moment where Kelly was cooking for them. And the kids, Chance and Chassie, I think her name is Chastity, they're like running around, being, siblings where they're like fighting each other and they're getting on Kelly's nerves. But it was like a cute moment. And, Kelly and Chloe was talking about her day at school. She's telling her that, she got some B's and A's, but she's still doing good in school. Kelly is trying to find a bigger home for them because I guess the space that they're in right now is a little bit smaller. The girls are growing and she wants them to have like a bigger space. So they're looking for a bigger house for them to move into. But Kelly is bringing that authentic mom reality to reality TV, because when you see her with her kids, it's very relatable, it's funny, it's corny, and it's just everything. It's lighthearted, I should say. It's very lighthearted when she's with her kids, and I love seeing that side of Kelly, especially being a mom and now a single mom. It's nice to see that side play out on TV. And so that element of her being a mom and incorporating her kids is very nice to see on the show. And so that's why I like that Kelly is a new addition to the show, because she brings that element of lightness and normalcy to the show, and it's not filled with drama when she's around her kids. So Kelly also met up with Angela, and she apologized to Angela for mentioning that Charles had a side baby, because at the Bailey Q, she had brought that up again. When Britt had originally mentioned it, she had brought it up again. So she apologized to Angela for saying that, because it was not okay for her to say that. So Angela explained the situation about the baby, the side baby comment and where it came from. And she explained that, she had a discussion with Wendy Williams, and she went up to Wendy to say, it's just a baby, you can forgive Kevin and all of that or whatever. And so Wendy turned to her and say, oh, well, have you had someone done that to you? And she said yes, but Wendy thought that it was Charles, but in fact, Angela was talking about her first baby dad who had a baby on her, but then everyone took it and ran with it to make it seem like it was Charles that had the outside baby. So Angela made it very clear that Charles does not have any outside baby. She did in fact say that there have been instances of infidelity in her marriage when her and Charles separated. I think this was back in 2017, and that her and Charles worked through it, but there is absolutely no side baby. And I love the fact that Angela is putting it all out there and being very transparent about her marriage, any infidelity, and the fact that they have worked through whatever problems that they have had, because it takes away the element of surprise from the cast or the other ladies bringing it up to her or trying to spray her with her own tea. They also talked about how Shamia is feeling about her friendship with Portia, and Angela mentioned to Kelly that she did tell Shamia that, however you're feeling, she needs to talk to Portia about those feelings and bring up everything that she is feeling and just lay it all on the table, instead of like, the cast asking her about her friendship with Portia and she's having to answer those questions. And, like if everything is out in the open, at least Portia will know how she feels and she can get certain things off her chest. And speaking of Shamia and Portia, so they met up with Ralph. So Shamia initially meet with Ralph because Ralph said he wanted to talk to Shamia about this a podcast, his podcast. Girl, Shamia is gonna say that she doesn't see anything wrong with meeting up with Ralph to talk about the podcast, even though she met Ralph through Drew. And it's the delusions for me. Because the same way that people would have an issue with Drew doing the same thing, like meeting up with Dennis, working with Dennis, you don't have an issue with meeting up with her husband that she's currently going through a divorce with. And not only that, you are now inviting Portia to this meetup to have what kind of discussion? Why was Portia invited? Like, you invite Portia under the guise that you guys are having dinner, but Ralph is there. Make it make sense. And not only that, Shamia is going to go ahead and ask Ralph if Drew is sleeping with Dennis. That conversation is so inappropriate because we've never ever seen Drew have those kind of discussion with Dennis. And for them to, not even them, but for Shamia to have that question for Ralph is so out of order and inappropriate, because if it was done to her, she would feel some kind of way as well. And then Portia arrived to the dinner and she hugged Ralph and she sat down and they're all giddy and she's talking about Drew and Ralph's relationship or their marriage. And it's like, nobody see that this is inappropriate or this is out of order. Why are you guys having a discussion about Drew's marriage with her husband, knowing the divorce battle that she's going through with her husband? And especially Portia in this moment, because you're going through a similar thing with Simon. It's crazy that nobody is clocking this or trying to say like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done this, or maybe this is not appropriate. And to make matters worse, Portia then reads the message that Dennis sent her about not sleeping with Drew. And Portia is so low down and trifling. Like, she read the message knowing well that Dennis never said anything about sleeping with Drew. Even Ralph was taken aback and surprised, and he's like, oh, let me see that. Like, what? He said that? And she showed him the message, and you can see on his face, he's looking at them like, huh? That's not what the message said. But like, if nobody see that this is wrong, or like what was wrong in this scene, it means that you're either not married, you're not a girl's girl, or you're not a woman of integrity. Like, I am not even married, and I see so many things wrong with this scene between all three of them, and I was just so disgusted because I'm like, why is this scene happening? Why are you guys having this conversation with this man who is basically terrorizing Drew and her children and trying to pretend like he did nothing wrong? Even Portia went and asked him if he's ever cheated on Drew. And this man is going to sit there and lie and say he's never cheated on Drew. He thinks that we're stupid. We are stupid because he goes on to say that the reason he filed for a divorce was because Drew cheated with Ty. So Drew just got up out of the blue and went ahead and allegedly cheat with another woman, and you did nothing wrong, Ralph. You are just a saint in this marriage, and you just loved her dearly, and you were just at home being the perfect husband, and she just got up and cheated on you allegedly. Y'all, I am sick of them. All three of them. I'm sick of that. Like, Portia being so brave to ask Ralph anything about cheating, or Shamia even asking if Drew is sleeping with Dennis. It's like, nobody wanted to talk about why Portia stole Simon from Fallon. Portia didn't even want to answer that question, but you want to be up in somebody else's marriage to ask the question of whether they have cheated on their spouse. Like, it's double standard for me is too much. It's too much, and people are excusing Portia's behavior, and it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. And she needs to be held accountable. And it's not just Portia. It's also Shamia too. But Shamia is going to get a rude awakening once Phaedra comes back and Portia no longer wants to have anything to do with her. She's going to be crying again about her friendship with Portia, because Portia is going to drop her hot on her face once Phaedra comes back. But also, Portia met up with Angela at one of her rental properties, and I don't blame Angela, because Angela said, I'm not gonna invite no woman that said she would sleep with my husband at my home. So I don't blame Angela for not inviting Portia to her home, because I wouldn't either. Nobody trusts her around their husband. So they're there and they're playing a little game of tennis back and forth and just having fun until they decided they wanted to just have a talk. And Portia invited Angela to her Pampered by Portia's event that she's hosting. And during that moment, Angela mentions to Portia that she had talked to Shamia previously, where Shamia had expressed her feelings regarding their friendship and how Portia, Shamia feels like the friendship is kind of lopsided because she doesn't want to be Portia's lapdog, and she feels like she gives more to the friendship than Portia gives back to her. And of course, this basically upset Portia, and she started crying because she's dealing with so much. And here comes the friendship drama. Like, Portia always have something going on, and it's like anytime anyone wants to talk to her about the real issues that are happening, it's like she just wants to escape it, and she does not want to address the real issues that people are bringing to her. And it's like the season has started and we haven't really gotten much from Portia when it comes to her divorce with Simon. So if you're not going to give us anything about your divorce with Simon, at least give us the real as to what's happening between you and Shamia, because the world can see that your friendship is not the same and that you haven't been giving much to her versus her giving much to you. So it's like, what is the real deal? Like, let's talk about it. Like, let's know what it is about, because now both of you are peach holders and you're supposed to be the anchor of the show, but yet we don't have much to go on from you. I also feel like in this moment, Angela got her lick back at Portia, because Portia and Shamia's friendship, it's very fragile. And Angela saw a loose thread and she tugged at it. So she knew if she tugged at it, it's going to unravel. And so said, so done. She brought up the issue to Portia about what Shamia said. Portia started crying. Portia is in her feelings because she doesn't really want to address the issues. Now that the group is getting involved, she's forced to address it. And it's going to happen one way or the other, where we see it happen at her Pampered by Portia event, where everyone is at the event. They're all there. They're supposed to be meditating. It's hosted by Lauren and this other lady. Lauren is Portia's sister. So everyone is there wearing their lingerie. They all look beautiful. They're taking their photos, and then they were instructed to, lie back and meditate to let their mind just settle. But obviously Portia can't settle and Shamia can't settle, because earlier on, before they got to the meditation, Kelly and Shamia had a conversation, and Kelly let Shamia know that Portia basically know about everything that she told to Angela, because Angela told Portia about what she said about their friendship. So that kind of upset Shamia a bit, because she's like, she doesn't want people to feel like she doesn't want Portia to feel like she's going around talking about their friendship to the group. So now they're supposed to be meditating, can't meditate. So Shamia gets up and she is sitting up, and then Kelly goes over to talk to her and say, hey, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And she's like, I can't really meditate because this stuff is bothering me. So Portia gets up now and she's like, shh. She's telling her to shoo, calm down. And so Lauren then takes the lead and say, this is the moment where if you have anything to say to each other, what I want you guys to do is just to ask the person, hey, do you have the capacity for me to address something with you? So first went Angela, who addressed Portia to say, Portia, I actually want to bring to you the issues that Shamia brought again about your friendship with her, and we would like to lay it out on the floor. Like, what are you able to address the issues that you have with Shamia about your friendship. So Lord, they start talking about that now. And Shamia and Portia start going back and forth, and they start letting it out about their friendship. Portia not attending her wedding, why Portia did not attend her wedding. Portia, we find out that Portia basically lied about the reason why she did not attend Shamia's wedding in Kenya, because she told her that, oh, she was sick or whatever, but it was because they weren't really talking. So she didn't go to her wedding because they weren't talking. And in this moment, we find out that Shamia didn't even know that they weren't talking. So there's very much a lot of discrepancies within their friendship. And I'm not even going to hold you guys. Like, this friendship is, to me, they have outgrown each other. They have outgrown each other. They're on different paths in their lives. Right now, Portia is going through a troublesome path with her marriage. Shamia is still in her blissful marriage, trying to have a baby. And also, Shamia had met with her surrogate. I guess she is gonna move forward with the surrogate to have a baby. Hopefully, it's gonna be a boy. But anyways, Shamia is living her best life with her marriage and her husband, her supportive and loving husband. Whereas Portia doesn't have that right now. So for Portia to see anyone else or to take up anyone else's issues or problems, it's not going to be in this moment or at all, because she doesn't have the capacity to do that, because she's focusing on the fact that Simon is trying to divorce her. She can't film in her home, and she has all these other issues going on when it comes to Simon. So Portia is going to always choose Portia, and I feel like they are on different path at this point, and Shamia needs to let it go. Shamia needs to let this friendship go, enjoy the years that were and move forward, because to me, they have outgrown each other, and this has become redundant. And it's not even that Portia doesn't have the capacity. Portia doesn't want to. So even if she could address the issue, she doesn't want to. That's just my opinion based on observation. She doesn't want to address the issue with Shamia. So I just feel like Shamia needs to let it go and just call it what it is and say, you know what? We had a good run as friends. We were perfect. We did a lot. We had a good friendship. It is what it is, and it's done. That chapter is done. It's closed, and I'm just gonna move forward and just be done with it. Because trying to hold Portia accountable for this friendship, you can't even get her to be accountable for saying she wants to sleep with someone's husband or for stealing someone's husband. Do you really think you're gonna hold her accountable for your friendship that you've let so much slide in your friendship over the years? I doubt it. But that's just me. And that's all I gotta say about episode 9 and 10. I will be posting my review for episode 11 shortly, so just look out for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.